I'm Stephan from Zeit Woodworks. We're here today with Woodland Mills, and we're going to mill up some logs, make some bowl blanks, throw it on the lathe, and get dusty. I got my mill May of 2021. So in 2019 we had our second daughter, and then I was going to take 6 months off, and I wanted to as well keep busy doing something else. And so I had a chainsaw mill at that time, and it was okay, but I wanted to get something more efficient and something better, so I got the Woodland Mills, the 126 with the short bed, which was being fantastic. It's great. And then from there it just got more and more. Like I started milling wood for tables. You know, timing worked out well. I don't know if I thank Mother Nature for this or what, but I built the mill, and 5 days later this massive storm came through, and so I was just milling logs all summer. The first year on that mill I put over 220 hours on that mill. So it was wild. It was great, and you know, it was fun to saw, but for me it's been amazing. Like this is the office. Like, I'm outside having a good time sawing wood. I make tables, I make furniture, cutting boards, but my favorite thing to make is bowls and vases, for myself, but also to sell some. But I really enjoy making sentimental pieces. So let's say someone has a tree come down on their property, they're not sure what to do with it. I'll mill the wood for them, and you know, offer to make something that's going to be there for the next 100 years for them. So whether it be a bowl or table and stuff like that. So, you know, just different stuff. Kind of, I've got an idea behind what I want to make, but I also go with what the person sees as well. Because, you know, we can all look at the same piece of wood and see something totally different. And it's really neat. And I think for people to be able to tell that story, you know, tell that part of their own history with that piece is incredible. And also for those who want to actually get their hands onto the wood and make something with it, it just makes it worth more. Like you can't even put a price tag on it. It's like, it's a story, and it's something that's going to get passed on and on and on. You know? And just to be able to do it yourself, it's so fun. I think it's empowering. Like a gentleman last summer, I milled for him the year before, cut all the beams for him and then some siding. And he called me up, he's like, hey, would you build a log shed, like a shed for me from all the firewood? I'm like, why don't you do it? You know, I'll show you how to do it, but you do it. He built it amazing, like better than I could ever do. And it's like, he says to me, every time I go outside to get wood for the fireplace, I feel warmer just knowing that I built that. So it's really cool. Like it's nice stuff.
Do we want to walk over? And yeah, absolutely.
We can fire it up and like with you. So this one here is from the house that's like 200 feet that way. That's where this cherry came from. The massive pine is from the house next door to that. So pretty much anyone in this neighborhood that cuts down a tree, if they're not using it for firewood, it ends up here. You know, and then I make them something, a little piece or two, and give it back to them. Like, so it's fun. In this stack right over here, that's pine that I milled after a storm in Chelsea, which I brought back here. So it was at their place for 2 years, and now it's here. That's going to be turned into a table this winter. So, in the spring and summer, I do a lot of milling. Fall, I do a lot of turning for Christmas markets. And then through the winter, I build the tables. I get to meet so many great people, and sharing stories. You know, some people that have milled or want to buy a mill, some people that are turners or just creators. They make different stuff, and for me, that's been the best part of this. Like meeting so many like-minded people and that just motivate me, and somehow my story sometimes motivates them. So well, I tell you, they sell themselves. Like people see it and they're like, oh wow, that's great, you know, and that's what I say, like the price point on these, you can't beat it. It's amazing for what it does. Like it's the best tool that I've got. This and my lathe, I'm like, it's all I need.
Yeah.
Really, if this thing could have an attachment that gouges out, then I'd just be making bowls with this. So, find all my bowls like this, I would write OGD, and I'd be like, what is that? Only good days. and that's how I feel about this. Like, you know, it could be snowing, it could be plus 30, it could be raining -5. It's just, they're always good days when I'm milling. Like, I'm not ever in a bad mood. Like, everything could go wrong and it would still be a great day. So, you know, like I said, for me, it's been a life changer. It's just, it's been good, and it still is good. It's always good.
That's the mentality you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm always excited when I know I'm gonna mill. It's like, yeah, let's do it. Well, I love this part because, like, when I open it up, I can see, like, you know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I can see a nice little bowl out of here. You know, even this part I can use if I want to make something with more of a live edge on it. It's fun. Or like, you know, if there's a split, that's gonna make a nice cutting board. But it's fun. Every slice is like something new, and it's like, okay. And then I gauge it. Like, if I know I want to make a couple cutting boards, I'll go like 1 1/4 on the next one, and so on. So I'm gonna see here. I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna cut a piece that I can make a bowl out of afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right here. That's gonna make a nice bowl. So yeah, so what I'll do here is I'll just get the chainsaw, cut off a piece here, cut a little bit round on the bandsaw, and then we'll make a bowl. And afterwards, if I split it down the middle a little bit, then I got a whole bunch of vases. So I'll make them, let them dry a little bit, and then they're set. I had no idea this was going to be so nice inside. So that's a great surprise. The you know, you got such a nice mix. Often I'll just cut stuff. I'll let it dry for a little bit. Like I got the shed over there pretty much full. I cut some butternut this week intentionally for vases, some bigger and taller vases. So I'll come out with an idea, cut a bunch of stuff, but I always end up with more than I need, and that turns into other stuff too.
Do you have plans for a kiln or anything, or are you, like, that's your main drying there?
Eventually I would love to have a kiln just over here. On sunny days, this side of the yard is really sunny the whole day through. So it'd be perfect if I could do a solar powered kiln over here to start, and eventually down the road do an electric one. But yeah, it's definitely in the plans, the long-term plan. So
I know, you always gotta think like 5 projects ahead.
well, that's it. And I'm like, you know, it's silly. I was like, oh, you know, maybe I should get a shipping container. I'm like, no, wait a minute. It's going to be a wood kiln, like access to it all the time. So, so yeah, I'll do a wooden, like a solar kiln. And, you know, on the forums, there's, you know, people are always talking about it. And that's what I love about the community is that, you know, you can go onto Facebook, you can go on Instagram, and people are always, they're sharing their amazing ideas. So it makes the whole process a lot easier, because someone's either thinking about doing it or they've done it. And you know, I haven't run into yet a problem where they're not willing to share their ideas.
What's the coolest thing you've seen that someone else has made?
Andrew's sauna. That's pretty awesome. Like he had an idea for a sauna. We milled the siding for that, and then he did one wall with skateboards. It's just awesome. Like that's pretty cool. Also, some friends of mine, they have a cabin. Well, they've got 3 cabins now. It's called Terre et Neige. They're over in Val des Monts. They built an off-grid cabin way up on a mountain, like 2 kilometers up, and it's beautiful. Like that's it's a dream of mine to one day build a cabin too. And when I saw that go up, I couldn't believe it. When we brought the mill up that mountain, and it was funny because I was like, if you guys really believe you can do it, let's do it. I said, but it's gonna be a while. It took us 7 hours to get the mill up the hill, and took us 5 days to mill everything for the cabin. But it's really incredible. When I'm out here milling, it's just great. Like the weather doesn't matter. It's fun. It's always a surprise, and you can see that it's going to go somewhere.
But how loud the mill is, it's very calming activity.
Yeah, and like, you know, with these on, it's not as loud, and often I'll queue up my favorite playlist and listen to some music, and just like alone with my thoughts in the mill, and it's great. It's nice. I say it's the quiet and chaotic times. Cut an extra slice because that's going to be for cutting boards, the thinner piece, and then this I'll use for probably some bud vases, about that big, you know, 4 to 6 inches around. Just cut them in strips like this. I can leave some with the live edge on the top and make them like that. So,
where'd you learn to do all this? Like, is this all self-taught?
a lot of it's self-taught. Like some of it's from YouTube, Instagram. Most of it's self-taught. Lots of mistakes to get better at it. What's nice is that with this is that I'm not going out and buying, you know, let's say 50 pieces of bowl blanks of cherry at, you know, $30 a pop. It's there. It's pretty much free wood. So if I make a dozen mistakes, it doesn't cost me anything. I just get better at it. You know, I just learn from the mistakes. So there's no kind of like, I'm not limited by, okay, this one has to work out. And sometimes what's kind of fun by using the pieces that otherwise I would have thought weren't good, they turn into something incredible. Like I've got some spalted pieces on the side over there that, you know, this stuff is incredible once you cut it open. I cut a chunk off this yesterday, and I made a vase yesterday with it. Like, this stuff is amazing. Like once it's finished, it's just beautiful. So this is where the fungus, like a mushroom, started to grow. So it causes the black lines. And there's a fine line of like when it's still good or when it's too far. Like up here, it's becoming kind of soft. So this stuff is no good really, but I still have all this that's good. But down here I've got enough to make a bowl for sure. So actually one of my favorite bowls was made from this wood here that I hauled out of Chelsea in 2019. You know, and it's sat in a pile over here for 2 more years, and then I milled it up. So one of my favorite bowls that's inside is from this stuff. This has taught me to be a way more patient person. Like, take the time to do it right, and you know, make the straight cuts, take your time turning, take your time, let it dry properly before making it into something. So yeah, I look back and be like, ah, that's kind of garbage, but I learned from it. So it's not a waste of time. It's still worthwhile. It's still good.
Life lessons. Be patient.
Yeah, be patient, be real patient, because it always pays off in the end. You know, it's just the way it is. Like, you know, there's no point in getting stressed out. And this has calmed me down big time. I think I mentioned it before, but it's like, this has been a life changer for me, milling. Also fresh air, like, you know, you're outside doing this and there's no need to hurry it up. It doesn't, you can't go quicker than the wood or the machine. So might as well enjoy the slow moments. Like, that's the way it is. So yeah, I can cut a piece off that and even turn a bowl if you want. So we can make like a vase out of this here. And here's our rough bowl blank. So we'll just make a little bit more round inside and we're set. So we'll head into the garage. It's a little warmer in there. There's just wood everywhere. Like, this is more, so there's sawdust in here, but underneath it is other pieces that are slowly drying. So, you know, I got to dig down a little further, but you know, the stuff that's been kind of roughed out, that's some fresh walnut. So just so it dries slower, I put it in the sawdust and then work it.
So is it cracked?
Yeah, it lets it dry slowly. So that's the kind of thing, like, sometimes I want to finish this right away, but I know I have to wait. If not, it's just going to be a huge crack down it. So here's another piece of cherry. So that's already done as a round. My plan with this one is to leave some of the live edge around the bottom and then have a shallow bowl there. So yeah, it's cozy, but it works. So it's kind of nice, like, come in here in the evening, close the door, put on some music, and then make stuff. This is what I did yesterday.
That's cool.
So this one, like, the stem's still on there. I've got to, well, I don't have to. I could leave it just the way it is, or I could dig it a little bit more here.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, but there's always like so many like projects halfway, and just I gotta wait for them. Like, you know, so this will go up here for a bit, and it's kind of fun. Like, sometimes I'll put them in a box, and I'll forget about them for 6 months, and then I'm like, open a box, I'm like, oh yeah, this one. Like, then I'm like, that's the new piece I'll do. You know, it's like, or I'll trace out a bunch of different cutting boards and then get to them, like, you know, like right before a show, I'm like, oh yeah, wait a minute, I got this piece to do still. So yeah, I'll go grab that piece outside. So what I'm gonna do is, like, wherever it's too big, I'm just gonna shave it off with, like, kind of like a grinder. So yeah, so now what I do is I'll let it dry for a couple months, and then I can finish it off, because right now it's gonna warp a little bit, and like I said earlier, every piece I make, I'll add something to it, like a reminder of today. So if you look at the top here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 little ridges. 1, 2, 3, 4 little ridges. So what I'm gonna do is, once this is dry, I'm gonna send it down to Woodland Mills, and it's gonna be a bowl for you guys. You know, on this guy here, there's also the mark where I cut it with a chainsaw, and it's like, it doesn't make it less functional. It accentuates kind of, you know, what it is. So I'm gonna fill this up with sawdust, some of the stuff from here, and then wrap it up, and it's gonna slowly dry. There's gonna still be this little crack here, but that's okay. And then we'll keep it going. So in like 6 months, it's ready to go. And then you can use it for the next 100 years. And if it ever cracks, well, hey, you throw it in the fireplace and it keeps you warm.
We're going to tell everybody at the office, those lines are us, and not you. By the way.
You guys decided not to jump in the car.